Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this special called meeting of the Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration. We are going to go at one. Thank you for your patience. Just wanted to get a couple of things organized here. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 4:07 p.m. At this time, I invite all those that are willing and able to rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, wow. We will go ahead and get started, but I would like to make a statement prior to us getting started here. As was noted in the notice that was issued and publicized on our website, this meeting is being called on an emergency basis for the purpose of approval of a polling location for next week's presidential preference primary election. I was advised last Friday by our director that we received notice of the need for this change late in the business day on Friday, and we obviously on Monday prepared the notice, issued it, as well as prepared the agenda, and are moving forward with this meeting. We'll provide additional details, or Director Fall will provide additional details with regard to the reason for the polling location and the nature of that emergency. However, I would also like to acknowledge that earlier today I did receive a request for public comment. The requester, I did advise, Ms. Grubbs reached out to myself and to Director Fall to request public comment. I advised her, and I am sharing that also here with you all, that it has not been this board's general stance or position to provide for public comment during a special called meeting, and we will not have public comment during this meeting. So with that, we will go ahead and move to the first item on the agenda, which is the only item on the agenda, that being the temporary polling location change for Vinings 04. Director Fall.
Good afternoon, Board. Thank you for coming together on a quick notice. So we're requesting the approval of a temporary change for Vinings 04 from Cochise Riverview Club, located at 3773 Cochise Drive Southeast, over to Vinings United Methodist Church at 3101 Paces Mill Road. These polling places are 0.4 miles away from each other. CP has pulled up the map that I've given you at your station, so you can see the distance. It is within precinct boundaries. The reason for this last minute change is that the Cochise Riverview Club, there we vote on the second floor, and the elevator has gone out and they're not able to repair it in time, so we have to move the locations to ensure that all voters can access that precinct. So this is the Vinings United Methodist Church has expressed interest in working with us as a polling location in the future, so it is temporary, but we hope to make that more permanent to avoid this issue possibly coming up again in the future.
Okay, thank you for that. I don't know whether anyone else has any questions, but I note that we being the board, received an email from you. I believe it was on Friday, just prior to 6 p.m. When did they advise you of the issue with the elevator?
I got final word that it would not be fixed in time at about 4:45, I believe, on Friday afternoon. They had told us that it had been out, but that it was going to be fixed in time. Everything was scheduled and they were good to keep going. And then all of a sudden they couldn't get the part in time, and that's when they advised us. And then our site survey supervisor let me know as soon as they called her and informed her of the issue with the part coming in on time.
Okay, excellent. Does anyone else have any questions for Director Fall?
Hey, just a couple questions. How many voters are we talking about moving, and what's the communication plan?
So there's 3,681 active voters at this location for Vinings 04. I do have my printer on standby. As soon as you guys approve it, they'll cut and drop those postcards in the mail. So those are the yellow postcards that have been going out notifying all voters that are in a new precinct, whether we've moved it or due to the City of Mableton redistricting. And so these voters will get that postcard as well. So it'll get dropped in the mail either tonight or first thing in the morning.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, are there any additional thoughts with respect to advising voters of this change? I know we, in prior instances where we've had a change on very short notice, we've attempted to advise voters based upon notices to our website, perhaps even working with Cobb Communications to leverage or use the social media sites.
Absolutely. We'll do that. We'll work with Ross and his team to get that out on social media, our website, the main website, if some type of, notice or banner there. And then we'll make sure that it's out, and the public notice will get posted, and do everything we can with respect to that. So it will be a first-class postcard, so it should go out right away.
Okay, and then finally, I know that we've also taken, with regard to some of the Mableton changes, we've reached out to the Cobb Commissioner whose district those polling locations fall in. Perhaps we should do the same thing here.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then will there be time to print signage at the old location? For
Yes.
the new, telling people where to go?
Yes,
Okay.
we have also printers on standby. Fast signs really is fast. So they're going to get our signs, our nice big signs up for us at the previous location with the address of the new location, so voters know if they arrive there that they'll see there's no voting there that day.
And it's not a co-located poll, it's just,
Correct.
Okay.
Brand new.
Okay. Any additional questions or comments before we call the question? No?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Fall. That being the case, I will entertain a motion to temporarily change the Vinings 04 polling location for the March 12, 2024 presidential preference primary from the Cochise Riverview Club to Vinings United Methodist Church. Is there a motion?
Second.
No, is there?
Yes.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded to accept this temporary polling location change. All those in favor? I note that the vote is unanimous. I will also note that our colleague, Steve Bruning, is out of town at this time, but my understanding is he is participating, or at least listening via YouTube. He would not be able to vote virtually. He would not be able to vote virtually. So at this point, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you for that. The next item on the agenda, to the extent that it is needed, Mr. White, is there a need for executive session?
There's no new litigation, but if the board wants an update on current or potential litigation, it's just really up to you, whether you feel
Okay.
like it's necessary.
Is there a request or need? Okay. We will then move on, that being the case, we will move on to board member comments. Does anyone have any comments? All right, hearing none, we will note that our next meeting will be held a week from today, our election night meeting that will take place at our election office at 995 Roswell Street. Thereafter, the following week, we'll have our certification meeting that will take place here at 3 p.m. This meeting is adjourned as of 4:15. Thank you all for being here.